Welcome to Devils in Red 59. My name is Steve, and today is Sunday, the 8th of February, the day after the day before. What I want to do is talk a little bit about the game today and obviously the player ratings. I think that the overall performance was good. Um, Obviously, we had a few situations with Luke Shaw doing a bad back pass, and Lamens at one point didn't quite clear the ball the way he would have liked. But I think apart from those two instances, I think it was pretty much a solid game on our behalf. And even though the Tottenham defender, Romero, is it, got the red card for the tackle on Casemiro, uh, one or two people have said, if that hadn't have happened, we would have probably struggled to get the result there. But I don't believe that's the case. I think that we were pretty much always in control and felt comfortable on the ball. Our passing was quite crisp, and we also developed a lot of chances up front. I mean, the way some of our lads were being pulled back by the shirt and grabbed round the neck and pushed in the back. To be fair, I think we could have gone to the one or two goals, and I don't think that Tottenham player, if he'd have stopped on, would have made an awful lot of difference. I think the only real standout for Tottenham was probably Gallagher. He had a fair game. But obviously that tackle on Casemiro, I mean, it could have effectively been career ending for Casemiro. So that player, he should be facing a minimum of a five match ban. Sorry, my throat's playing up a bit. Yeah, so I think he should be facing a minimum of five match ban at least. For stuff like that. It's got to be stamped out the game. But anyway, we'll have a look at our players and we'll rate them out of 10 as to how we think they done. Lamens, I don't think he really had a lot to do, did he? But apart from that one bad clearance he made, which our lads got got back onto it and got the ball back fairly quick. I don't think he really done a lot wrong, on the occasions he was called upon. He was fairly good, confident, got hold of the ball, and you couldn't really ask for any more. So I'm going to give him a 6.5. Luke Shaw, I think he had a solid game. Apart from that back pass he made, he was good going forward. His passing was good. So again, Luke Shaw, I'd give him a 6.5. Martinez, I think he had a solid game. There was a few occasions when there was fumbles in the box, but I think that was down to how many red shirts were around the Tottenham players that generated that situation. But in the main, Martinez had a good game, and he's certainly a leader for the future. Maybe even a future captain if he can keep fit. So I'm going to give Martinez a 7. Addy Maguire, again, he didn't do much wrong. Solid performance. He's forming a good partnership with Martinez in that central defence. So I'm going to give Harry Maguire a 7. Dallo as a right back, I think with Dallo, when he's moving forward, he's more effective than when he plays just as a right back. He can be a bit unpredictable as a right back at times, but he done his job yesterday. And as I say, going forward, I think he's just that little bit more better. So I'm going to give Dallo a 6.5. Mainu, I think he had a fantastic game. To say he's only played a few games, and when Amrin was here, I think he only played 200 and some odd minutes over the 14 games that Amrin was here. And he's played that now in 4 games for Carrick. But he had a fantastic game. He's very strong on the ball. He's not easily pushed off it, and I felt that yesterday his passing was very crisp. So I'm going to give Kobe a 7.5. Casemiro, again, what can you say about this guy? He's leaving us at the end of the summer, but he said he will give his all 110% till the end of the season, and I believe that is the case. Casemiro yesterday, he was all over the place. He was up front, he was back. The energy he was portraying, it looks like somebody's took a few years off him, and he's got the energy of somebody 4 or 5 years younger. Um, so fair play to Casemiro. He had a good few chances himself up front as well. So I'm going to give him a 7.5 also. Bruno, again, certainly a lot better as a number 10 than when he played in the midfield. He still wonders a bit, um, but as a number 10, he's passing is second to none. The chances he creates for Mbumo or Sesko or Cunha, he's got to be one of the best number 10s in the Premier League at the moment. So sorry. And then we're looking at Cunha. I think Bruno, I'd put him down as an 8 for yesterday. Cunha, I think he had a pretty quiet game yesterday. There was big spells where he didn't seem to be in the game, but when he was, he was effective. So, you know, Cunha, I'm going to give him a 6.8. Mbumo, I think, again, he had a good game. Maybe not quite as good as the game before, but he's always in and around the box. He's always there to pick up a goal. And from that corner kick yesterday that Bruno took to Mainu, Mainu was on the goal line and or in line with the goal line, and he knocked it back to Mbumo, and he come in and crisply hit it. You know, again, Mbumo, you'd want him in your side every time, wouldn't you? So I'm going to give him Mbumo a 7.8. And Ahmad, I think he had a pretty good game also. There was periods where he probably went a little bit quiet, and then all of a sudden he was there. But again, he done what was asked of him. He created chances. So I'm going to give him a 7.5 as well. So Sesko, when he came on, again, he never came on for all that long, but straight away you could see in his face he was happier, he was more relaxed. Whatever it is Carrick and that's doing for him, it's obviously starting to look like it's paying dividends. But he looks like he's had the weight of the world lifted off his shoulder, and I think what Carrick's doing with him, bringing him on as a sub for 15, 20 minutes, will pay dividends at the moment, because he's coming on half the time when we're 1-0 up, 2-0 up, and the pressure's not on him so much. So, he's able to play with a bit more freedom and not so much pressure. So, again, Sesko, I'd give him a 6.8. And the other subs that came on, all played a part, I'll give them all a 6.5. So overall, I think the team deserved the win. There was no way, from what I could see, that even if Tottenham had kept the 11 on, we were going to lose that game. I think it was 3 points from the minute we kicked off. Carrick and his backroom staff, I think they're doing a marvellous job. A lot of talk in the media again about whether Carrick should get the job or whether he shouldn't. And as we said before, really, until April comes, it's really hard to say. But, he's won 4 convincingly. He's got 13 games left to obviously show us that he can continue that. Probably, he's going to pick the odd draw up, and I think we might even have a loss somewhere along the line. But in the main, I think, he's going to get us championship football. I think we're going to be within that top four, possibly top three, because we're now only 3 points behind Villa. They're suffering with their injuries with the midfield and so forth. So it looks like, that's up for grabs, third place, and hopefully we can get that. I think certainly we're going to be in the top five, and hopefully the top five will be enough to qualify. But, personally, I think we're going to be between fourth and third. So, congratulations to all the lads for playing the way they're playing, and Michael Carrick and his training staff. They're doing a brilliant job, and long may that continue. And I hope that Michael Carrick at the end of the season's in with a good shout of getting the full-time position. We have had managers come in before, well-known managers, and they've struggled with this side and previous sides and ended up being sacked. So experienced managers is not always the way. And I don't think we can class Michael Carrick as another Ollie Gunnar Solskjaer. I mean, the two different people, different thoughts. Michael Carrick, he had his spell at Middlesbrough, and I know he got the sack there, but obviously circumstances are a lot different there to what he's dealing with at a place he loves, and obviously he played for. So I think Michael Carrick is going to be in the mix, and well deservedly, I think he should be. The next game, obviously, is at West Ham on Tuesday. That's going to be more, I think, of a difficult game because Nuno now seems to have West Ham pulling together a bit more. He's had his new signings in, and obviously he's fighting relegation. I think he's about 3 points off getting out of relegation at the moment. So we don't want him getting 3 points against us and getting out of relegation. I mean, as sad as it is, I hope that Carrick gets his 5th win and we get the 3 points, because I believe Nunes will get West Ham out of it before the end of the season anyway, but I'm more concerned about what we do. But we can't go there to West Ham lightly. We've got to go there, give them respect, because they are an unpredictable team at times. And, we've got to play for each other, play as a team. The travelling supporters will be there doing their bit as they always are. And, we've got to go for that 3 points. I don't believe that we'll sit back. I think that Carrick will say, look, do what you've done in the 4 games, get out there, enjoy yourself, go out there and try and get that first goal. And then when you've got it, go for the second one as quick as you can and try and kill it off. So, fingers crossed for Tuesday night. I'd just like to thank everybody for the likes and the subscriptions they've given me on my previous videos. As I said before, this is a new channel, new community that we're trying to build. So every like and every subscription counts. So thank you everybody that's done it so far. And I hope that other people will smash a like and subscribe as well so we can get the numbers up. My next podcast will be on Wednesday after the game on Tuesday, when I hope we can report good news that we got the 3 points that we most desperately wanted. So thank you very much for everybody if you're tuning in to watch this video, and I look forward to doing the next one on Wednesday. Thank you very much.